All right. Uh, Yankees Padres series is over. It was actually yesterday that the series ended, but today's an off day, and honestly, I didn't really feel like putting a bunch of work in to upload a new video. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it the next day, which is today now. So kind of hoping we'd have a series win here to celebrate. I probably would have uploaded yesterday if that was the case, but it is what it is. You know, Yankees, they're probably a wild card team, bare minimum. They might win their division, who knows? But I mean, they're still like a good team. I wouldn't say they're a great team, but they're still a good team. So, losing two games to out of three is not the worst thing in the world. It does suck because this is like the third series that we've lost in a row to these guys. I remember we lost in the 2023 series. We lost in 24 at home, and now we've lost the 25 series. But yeah, I mean, I never like losing to the Yankees. It's not as bad as losing to Dodgers, but it's probably like second place, to be honest. And we had a bunch of chances to win game 3. I mean, when you have the 10th inning, Lockridge on second base to start the inning, and you have Tatis, Arise, Merrill, I know he got hit, and I know Arise walked, but Tatis, Manny, and Xander all striking out. We kind of just fumbled the bag at the end of the game 3 there. How about Trent Grisham, dude? What the hell? This dude, like, he's on fire right now to start the season, and out of nowhere, he just hits 2 home runs on us. Crazy stuff. Yeah, let's get into the games. I had a bunch of stuff for game 3, I had a bunch of stuff for game 2 and 3, but we ended up losing them, so probably won't have as much stuff to talk about because I'm going to be like not wanting to talk about it because we lost, right? So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the games, and then maybe a bit of an injury update on Merrill and Cease. Actually, I might as well just do that now. As far as I know, they're both fine and they'll both be playing. Cease in his next start, he'll be playing his next start, and Merrill will be back in the lineup come Friday. So that's good. It's really annoying seeing a bunch of our best players keep getting hit by pitches over and over. I don't know what the fuck is up with that, but it's really frustrating. Tatis has been hit by a pitch. Merrill's been hit by a pitch. Fucking who's his face? Crone's been hit by a pitch. It's just frustrating seeing our guys get, not being able to play. This could have been, it's still one of the best starts in franchise history, but this could have been like a crazy start that would probably never be seen again for a long ass time. Like, we could be like fucking, I don't know, like 27 and 9 or 8 or whatever the math is for that. Like, we could have like a crazy record like that right now if none of our guys had like injuries that took them out of our lineup for weeks. Merrill was basically a month, but yeah, it is what it is for that. Let's just get into the games now. What do we got here? I fucking scrolled to the bottom because I was gonna talk about the injuries, but yeah. So game 1 was Pivetta versus Rodon. Pivetta had a pretty good outing. He had 4 walks, but I think that was partially due to the rain. Yeah, like the rain just was messing with how he was able to like throw. Like, the ball was slipping out of his hand, and it didn't help that the ump was behind. The ump was just really bad behind the plate. That's another thing I'll get into a little bit later, I think. But yeah, the ump was not good. but he still went 5 innings, 3 runs earned, or 3 runs, 2 earned, and it was still like a good outing, all things considered. And so moving on, the first inning, he walked Judge, which is fine because he's kind of playing crazy out of his mind right now. Ben Rice doubles down the right field line, and then Tatis throws it to second to try to get Rice, who's trying to turn it into 2. And the ball arrives kind of like at the same time. It like does one bounce and then it bounces, I think, again, and it arrives at the same time as Ben Rice. So it was a tough hop, and Xander, it like goes off. I forget if it goes off Xander's hand or maybe off Ben Rice somehow, and it like bounces up, and Xander grabs the ball, and he made like a heads up play. He noticed Judge trying to score on the chaos, and he just throws it home, throws a dart home, and he gets Judge. It was a really good throw and a really good play overall. Heads up play by Bogey. Bottom of the third, Pivetta walks, number 9 hitter. I don't know. It was like a bad call, I believe. And then Grisham comes up and he hits a 2-run homer. Of course, because anytime we give up a walk it shouldn't have been a walk. It was just like a bad call from the umpire. We always get punished for it this year. And Grisham comes up and he hits a 2-run shot. Bottom of the fourth, the game gets delayed. Pivetta comes back out about 20-30 minutes later, and he finishes, I believe he strikes the guy out. Bottom of the fifth, Pivetta and Xander get a nice double play on Judge. And then bottom 6, Yanks get a run off sloppy defense when Diaz tries to catch a guy. I think it was Goldschmidt stealing, but he tries to catch a guy stealing, and he throws it he throws it away. It was like airmail into center field. They would end up scoring that run to make it 3-0. Top of the 7th, Campy gets on, beating out a double play. Moved over to third by Gonzalez, and he would be thrown out at the plate trying to pull a steal. This was the play where the ball kind of like barely got away, and Campy tried to do like a steal like Tatis did in Pittsburgh, but he's like way slower than Tatis, so it didn't work at all. Top of the 8th, Wade walks, Lockridge singles to bring up Tatis with 1 out. It's Tatis coming up with 2 on. Ump calls a strike on a low pitch that was it was technically a strike that was in the zone, but the ump at this point, like it's 8th inning, like he was terrible at this point. Like he was really, really bad, and I think people were starting to get fed up with it because these are like big pitches now in the 8th inning with guys on and shit. This is like game point pretty much. And Tatis kind of jumps up and down, and we get Schilt like going apeshit in the dugout. John Boy posted the video. You guys have probably already all seen it. I tried to do a bit of lip reading. I was way off. I only got like the part where he says like, Schilt like storms out and he's like, "You want to fucking go? You want to fucking go? Let's go." Or whatever, right? And then like everyone got the ending thing where he was like 3 motherfucking 3, but everyone like including myself all thought like he meant like pitches, like 3 pitches off or something, like they were like 3 missed calls or something. But he was actually talking about ejections, like total ejections that he's had, I think, when he's been with the Padres. So, and John Boy explains it all in his video, so go watch that video if you haven't already. But yeah, Schilt comes out, Tatis strikes out, then Schilt comes out, and he has this big argument with the umpire, and he gets tossed, Tatis gets tossed. It was such a fucking light ejection for Tatis. I don't know what he said, and I don't even think John Boy knew what he said, but it was still such a fucking, like, ego toss by the ump there. So bullshit. And so, yeah, Mike Schilt fires up the dugout, and So Arise comes up. He walks to load the bases with 2 outs. Manny doubles into left field, scores 2, making it 3-2 Yanks. And then Xander, I think on the first pitch, comes up and hits a single also to left field. And that scores Arise and Manny to take the lead. Big hit by X there. 4-3 Padres. And then Estrada does the 8th inning. And it was kind of nerve-wracking because some of the hits were like hit to the outfield pretty far. But he gets through the 8th. And then Suarez closes the 9th. And I put up a YouTube short of the last pitch. And there at that point, a couple days ago, we were like, oh yeah, 6-game win streak, let's fucking go. But now we go to game 2, which was not as fun, not nearly as fun. So game 2 is the King outing, and King was really, really good this game. Even this ump, I think this ump was probably worse than the game 1 ump. This was probably the worst ump of the whole series. He was missing a ton of calls, but King was just too fucking good. It didn't matter. King ended up going 6 innings with only 2 earned runs. Great start. He kept us in the game, and that should be enough to get a win. Unfortunately, that's not what happens. But let's get into it. So this is Merrill's return game. Top of the first, he immediately gets a double, but we don't score it, unfortunately. But still, it's a good sign for his first at-bat, getting a double. Bottom of the second, there was a nice double play to end the inning. The ball was hit to Arise, who threw it to Xander, and then back to King, who was covering first. It was a really good play. Top of the fourth, Manny had a blooper in left field, and then Merrill came up. He had an opposite field single, his second hit. First and second, no outs. We got a score. Xander had a walk, but the ump is stupid, so he called ball for a strike, and then Xander would fly out. Should have been bases loaded. Sheets would walk and make it bases loaded, and then they would have a balk, which it did look kind of like a balk, to be honest. Like the way the dude, I don't know, this guy Schmidt, he was like fidgeting the whole fucking game. So it's about time he got called on like the balk shit. Bases were loaded, so we scored because of the balk, and then Hayward has a sac fly to make it 2-0. Bottom of the fourth, Judge has an opposite field home run. They just got a bunch of home runs over the right field wall, and it's unfortunate because we hit some over there and we just couldn't get them over the wall, and all of theirs left, of course. Belly walks. Next guy, Dominguez, he singles, and then Tatis launches a ball to third, and it was like offline, and it goes into the dugout, and that would tie the game. That's just a bad throw. Top of the seventh, Sheets would have a single, Diaz would have a single, Tatis would come up, and this is when I noticed he was actually lifting his leg again in this at-bat. I checked some prior at-bats, and he didn't do it, but he didn't do the leg kick in the first at-bat, but then he did so in the next 4 at-bats in Game 2, and then Game 3, he went back to not doing the leg kick. So I have no idea what's going on with that. It doesn't look like it's a certain count he's doing it. He's just, I don't know if he's just forgetting, but whoever's in the dugout needs to like pick up on this shit and make sure he's like sticking with one. I would say he shouldn't be going back and forth, unless it's like I said, like unless it's a count. Like maybe when he's in a 3-0 count, he goes to the leg kick to get more power or something. I don't know. I like what he's doing now, like with a no leg kick, the new thing. I want him to stick with that. So yeah, I don't know. He needs to just stick with one, in my opinion. But anyway, it didn't really matter here because he does the leg kick and he gets a opposite field double because he's one of the best players in the game. That would give us the lead 3-2. Bottom of the seventh, Yankees get 3 singles, which tie the game. Cabrera comes up and he pops out a bunt, and then this is Morhone giving up all these hits. He can't find the zone. He gets taken out. And then this is when Peralta comes in and he just serves up a full fucking buffet. Everything's on the house. Fucking, he's serving everything up. People say he was tipping his pitches. I don't know. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. But what he does do, whether he was or wasn't, is he walks in a run. He gives up a double to Ben Rice. He gives up a single to Bellinger. Volpe gets a hot shot to Manny, which he probably should have made, but it eats him up, of course. And then it's 8-3, and then Austin Wells comes up. He hits a grand slam, and that would be that pretty much. That's pretty much it for game 2. It had like a great start, but then like that ending was just terrible. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, games like that are going to happen. This is the only second time we've been, like, shut out really hard. And we still have, like, the least amount of runs giving up of any team in the MLB right now. So, yeah. Anyway, Game 3 was the Cease outing yesterday. He had a no-hitter going through 6 2/3. Unfortunately, he had to come out when he was about to get through the 7th. He had like a forearm cramp or something. But he said he was fine, I believe. The update is that he's fine. I still think they should get it checked and make sure, like, triple check, because we need these guys healthy. So do whatever tests need to be done and give him his rest. Like I said, great outing. Yeah, he had a great outing through and through. His slider was sliding. Changeup was really good. And, he fucking struck out Judge 3 times, which was awesome to see. Yeah, that was a great outing by Cease. Bottom of the 3rd, nice sliding catch by Tatis. And then I think it was, I don't know what inning. Maybe it was top of the 3rd. I didn't write it here. Top of the 3rd, maybe top of the 2nd. And Merrill hits a lefty-lefty nuke into the Yankees bullpen to make it 1-0. That was a fucking shot by Merrill. Like I've said a bunch of times, I love lefty-lefty home runs, and this was a fucking nuke. Like, that shit went into the Yanks bullpen. Fucking Fried knew it immediately. He looked so pissed. Oh yeah, and this was the Emma Stone game. It's unfortunate we couldn't win for Emma Stone, but it was awesome to see her get excited when Merrill hit the home run. And she got it, like, she stood up and was clapping and stuff anytime, like, we got big hits and stuff. So it's awesome that she's a fan and she goes to games and stuff. And then bottom of the 4th, nice defensive play by Tatis, where he, like, catches a ball at the wall. And he's, like, pretending, I love this, he's fucking trolling the crowd, pretending like he dropped the ball or something. Or he didn't know where it went, or like that he's sad that like it went over or whatever, and then like all the crowd behind him is like, fuck you, Tatis, and he's just like fucking with them, like bending his ass, like bending down to stretch, quote unquote stretch, but he's just really like just, you know, showing his ass to the crowd and fucking with the crowd. I love it. Tatis, villain Tatis. The villain Tatis arc, I'm loving it. Yeah. And then right after that, Manny makes a nice defensive play. And he makes it look easy there, but it's definitely a tough play to make. It was like a grounder, and he just does like the rainbow toss, and it goes right to a rise to beat out the runner. Top of the 5th, Judge drops a fly ball that he should definitely have caught, just like the World Series, but unfortunately we don't score off it. Bottom of the 7th, we have a nice defensive play by Bogey and a rise to keep the no-hitter alive. It was just a tough pick by Bogey, and then it was like kind of a low throw, and so a rise picked it out of the ground to keep the no-hitter alive. But unfortunately, Bellinger immediately comes up and ends that. any chance of that with the solo shot. That was a fucking nuke too. It wasn't that bad of a pitch. It was just Bellinger was obviously sitting a high fastball, and he got it, and he crushed it. That made it 1-1. Tatis would walk in the top of the eighth. Tatis walks. Arise grounds out, moving Tatis to second. Manny walks, and then Merrill comes up, and he hits an opposite field line drive single. Emma Stone was loving that. Like I said, it's awesome seeing her cheer and stuff. That would bring in Tatis, moving Manny to third. Xander would have a sac fly to make it 3-1. And then Sheets comes up. He just misses a home run. It was like a moonshot to right field, but of course it doesn't go for us. That would have made it 5-1. And that probably would have won us the game, honestly, if that went, because we wouldn't have kept we wouldn't have kept Adam out there, or we would have swapped pitchers to someone else and not like given up the lead. Is what it is. Bottom of the eighth, Adam comes up. He walks Oswaldo Cabrera, and then Grisham comes up, hits his second home run of the series. The pitch wasn't that bad. It was inside. I think it was an inside changeup just off the plate, but it was a little bit high in the sense that like he could get to it if he was like kind of sitting in. And Grisham, we've known when he was on the Padres, he likes those down and in pitches, and a lot of the time he just swings and misses, but he did not here. He's on a roll right now, so he didn't miss. He crushes it, ties the game. And then bottom of the ninth, people were complaining that Suarez shouldn't be the one to come in, but I highly disagree. I think Suarez was the right move to hold the game at that point, and he does just that. He holds the game in the ninth to send us to extras. I like the decision from Schilt because we had our best players coming up in the 10th, and we just needed to hold them there and not allow like a run on like a home run or something. We just needed to hold them there. I think we could have gone to Estrada next if we really... Oh, we do go to Estrada. We go to Estrada next, and so we have a guy to like go to, so we were fine. Yeah, so bottom of the ninth, it was a nice... Oh, there was a nice defensive play by Iglesias, and then in the bottom of the ninth. And same with Maldonado. We had a nice catch on the last out, pop fly near our dugout. Sadly, this is when we troll the top of the 10th. Tatis and Manny miss a pair of like hanging changeups, and then Merrill's hit by a pitch. I think that they walk a rise or something. I think that's what happened with him. And then his Xander strikes out. So we had our best players, all three of them striking out. For them, all they did was just bunt the guy to third and then get a sac fly to end the game. It was a pretty entertaining game, honestly, all things considered, even though we lost. But it's just unfortunate to lose this game. It was definitely in our grasp, and we just couldn't convert at the very end. Yeah, and we lose the series 2-1, falling to 23-13. Player of the series, I'm going to go with King for the 6 innings and 2 earned runs. And then, obviously, I mean, you could do these interchangeably, but I went with pitcher of the series, Cease, for his 6 2/3, 1 earned run. You'd probably technically call that 7 innings because he had the guy at a 1-2 count when he was taken out for his injury. Worst performer, I'd probably go with Gonzalez. He went 1 for 9, or maybe it was 1 for 10, with 3 strikeouts in Game 3. That's pretty much it for this series. It was a tough series lost, man. Like, I think we could have won this one. Like, after like the way that we came back in Game 1, I was like thinking, we should be able to take this series now. Obviously Game 2 got out of hand, but Game 3 was definitely in our grasp, and we just like I said, we couldn't convert at the end. But it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, our record is still really good. 10 games over 500. And I think we're still like the second best record in the league. So, yeah. Overall, not too bad. All right, so we have Colorado next. And we should sweep this series, honestly. Like, if we lose one, it's not the end of the world. But, we really should be taking all three of these games. If a bunch of other teams are able to just sweep the Rockies and they've only won 6 games in a month and a week, then we should come in here. We're one of the better teams in the league. I know we're down Crone, but and I know we have our back end of our rotation coming up, but we still should be able to just sweep these guys. Offense needs to perform, and hopefully our pitching can just keep us in the game. I know it's in Coors Field. A lot of crazy, weird shit happens at Coors Field, but I really think we need to just sweep these guys, get them out of the way. They're basically the White Sox of this season, and just like last season, the AL Central beat up on the White Sox. They got a bunch of overinflated records, and they got kicked out of the playoffs quick. So we need to just beat up on these Rockies, get the free wins. We play them the most. We got to take advantage of that. So we don't play them. We play them the most compared to other teams in the NL, is what I mean. So I think it's 11 games. So we got to go 8-3 or something, or 9-2 on these guys. So yeah, like I said, not the end of the world if we lose one, but you really want to sweep these kinds of series, because these are easy ass fucking series. Yeah, so Colorado coming up tomorrow, 5:40 start time. I think it's Randy, right? Let me see. Yeah, Randy's pitching, and yeah, Randy Kolek, and then I believe King. No, Randy Kolek, Pavetta. I know we lost the series, but let's just keep our head high. It was a tough series, and let's just keep rolling, because we're coming off a fucking 6-win streak, so I think we're 6-2 in our last 8 games, so we're chilling right now. Just go into Colorado. Let's go into Colorado, perform the way that we're supposed to, and we should be fine. All right, so that's about it for this one, and take care, guys.